Why won't your master key open? That was the first thing Karen said to me at 7:12 a.m. while jamming a shiny brass HOA key into my mailbox like she was trying to hotwire a spaceship. The street was glowing in soft golden morning light. Perfect lawns, perfect fences, perfect people pretending to be happy. I had just finished tightening the last screw on my new slate gray mailbox when I noticed the HOA parade marching across the road. Karen in her visor, her loyal assistant Doug with a tape measure, the neighborhood royalty. "Good morning," I said. "Mr. Carter," Karen snapped, clipboard already shaking. "Your mailbox color violates Oakrest Meadows community standards." I smiled. "That's fine. I'm not under your HOA." Her face glitched. Doug snorted. "Every home here is under HOA authority." "Not mine," I said calmly. "You might want to check your map." Karen straightened like I'd insulted her bloodline. "You can't opt out. We'll call the police." "Go ahead," I said, stepping back beside my rebellious mailbox. 5 minutes later, a patrol car rolled into the postcard-perfect street, lights flashing like a reality TV premiere. Neighbors froze mid-lawn mow. Phones popped out. Karen crossed her arms like she'd already won. What she didn't know, I didn't just own my house. I owned the ground she was standing on. The first week under Karen's reign had been a slow burn. Notes on my garage door, emails flagged as urgent violations. Every friendly reminder carried the same message. "This isn't just your home, it's ours." I ignored most of it. Cities taught me patience. Engineers taught me verification. But when the first official HOA letter landed in my mailbox, bolded at the top, violation 00001, unauthorized mailbox design, I couldn't help but smile. Section 5, subsection D. They'd assigned me a subsection before I even unpacked my toolbox. Curiosity, not anger, drove me to check the county records. My lot, 27 feet beyond the HOA's jurisdiction. Technically, unincorporated county land, not theirs to rule. Emails escalated, fines mounted, photos appeared online. Karen and Doug snapped shots like their lives depended on it. A yellow envelope, $75 per day. Another warning, failure to pay may result in a property lien. I kept every scrap of paper, every screenshot, every threat. My folder grew thick, a quiet arsenal. When I visited the county archives, the truth gleamed under fluorescent lights. Oakrest Meadows annexation proposal from 2018, rejected. Never filed. Every rule they enforced beyond the official boundary was paper-thin authority. I also noticed easements running under and across my property. Water lines, fiber lines, drainage. Their HOA sprinklers, part of their signposts, even part of their tiny walking path, ran through land that was legally mine. I leaned back at my dining table, sunlight bouncing off my unauthorized mailbox. Karen had turned my yard into a battlefield. I had quietly armed myself with the law, and the first shot hadn't been fired yet. Saturday at noon, the HOA announced a mandatory compliance hearing. Folding chairs lined the cul-de-sac like a makeshift courtroom. Mara Karen stood at a podium, clipboard in hand, voice amplified, ready to assert her authority. Doug Reeves hovered behind her, stacking papers like evidence. Even the police had been roped in to observe. I walked across the street carrying a single folder, HOA correspondence, county records, certified maps, and deeds. Neighbors whispered. Some eyes widened. Some didn't want to look. "Mr. Carter," Mara began, her tone sharp, "this hearing addresses your continued refusal to comply with Oakrest Meadows standards." "Refusal?" I asked evenly. "You can't refuse something you were never under." Gasps rippled. When Mara tried to recite the annexation clause, I interrupted. "May extend doesn't mean does extend, and your 2018 proposal was rejected. My property is outside your jurisdiction by 27 feet. Doug's pen slipped from his hand. Mara's face flushed. The police officer, silent until now, nodded toward me. "He's correct. This is a civil matter. Your HOA can't enforce rules on property it doesn't own." The murmurs grew louder. A few neighbors laughed quietly. Others shook their heads in disbelief. Mara spluttered, flailing. Doug whispered apologies. I handed over the certified deeds for 3 parcels, the retention pond, the walking path, and the land under their community hall. The county recognized them as my property. The room went silent. Chairs creaked, murmurs turned into laughter. Mara, once queen of Oakrest Meadows, shrank under the spotlight of truth. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't humiliate anyone. The law had done that. And for the first time, the neighborhood felt like a community again, not a cage. If you love seeing entitled people finally meet real-world consequences like this video, comment below and subscribe so you never miss a story like this. Share it with your loved ones and tell us where you're watching from. It makes us happy to see how far our stories go. By the next HOA meeting, the balance of power had completely shifted. I arrived with 3 certified folders in hand: the retention pond, walking path, and the community hall lot, each legally mine. Mara Karen's smile was gone, replaced by thin, uncertain lines. Doug Reeves hovered beside her, glancing nervously at the neighbors who now watched with curiosity instead of fear. Mr. Carter, Mara began, voice cracking, attendance is for residents under active membership. I'm here as a property owner, I replied calmly, of these parcels. I placed each folder on the table, deeds visible, stamped, and notarized. The sheriff's deputy confirmed everything. County records are clear. These lands are privately owned by Mr. Carter. Your HOA has no legal authority here. Gasps, whispers, and then laughter filled the room. The neighbors finally understood. The board's power had been an illusion. Mara sputtered, words failing. Doug muttered, We were just following what we thought was right. The room erupted in quiet applause. Relief, not rebellion, radiated from every chair. The sheriff nodded. Document everything, but legally you're safe. In the weeks that followed, Oakrest Meadows transformed. The HOA dissolved, replaced by a volunteer community group. Mailboxes no longer matched. Lawns grew wildflowers. The pond and walking path remained open, but now for everyone, without fear or fines. A bronze plaque I installed under the old oak tree read simply, "Respect is stronger than rules." Kids played nearby, neighbors chatted freely, and the air felt lighter than it had in decades. Justice hadn't come with flashing lights or headlines. It came quietly, in daylight, backed by law and patience. And for the first time, Oakrest Meadows wasn't just a neighborhood, it was home. Like, comment, and subscribe for more unbelievable real life justice stories.